Other questions? Who else has a question related to technology? We got plenty of time, so go on ahead.
EDI from distributor to vendors, widely used. We've had no success trying to get customers to use it to send their POs to us. Any success, or any effort or success from any of your companies?
Varied. We process a lot of our volume via EDI, but it's actually over a fairly small number of vendors. And it's, it's kind of what you'd expect. The Eatons, the big guys that have a big IT department can handle it. The Billy Bob's lighting rep, no. One of the challenges with EDI, and frankly NAED, is it can be blamed or congratulated for this to a certain, depending where you land on this. As a standard, EDI is at best a guideline in my opinion, because every vendor and a lot of customers have, hey, I'm going to do an EDI 810 order acknowledgement. Here's my version of it. And so part of what we have to then do is respond to that, and then hopefully we'll eventually get on their radar to get it tested and get it set up. It's not just a matter of turning the switch. But if you have the ability to get it set up, obviously it becomes a huge productivity gain that you don't have to process that paper in any kind of manual way. But no, that's one of those things that, whether it's through some sort of business marketplace or whatever the tool is, that electronic interchange is a big area for our industry that we've done a reasonable job at the bigger company and the bigger vendor area, but across our footprint we've not done a very good job at.
Les?
Again, EDI from a customer perspective, generally the customer's coming to you with their own recipe, and we have to deal with that. We have, I guess there's three primary solutions that we're looking at. Obviously from an EDI perspective, it's customer generated because they have to have the systems on their side in order to utilize that. XML is something that we also use as a replacement for EDI in many cases, and you can be much more creative in terms of delivery on that. And I guess the one area that we find more and more is the punch-out customer. And all these, obviously, these are larger customers, but it's really the third party that you have to mate up with, and we find that those people can be probably more difficult than our customers many times. But to me, I think the biggest challenge we have is doing this in a cost-effective way, and so there has to be some kind of a customer size in order to go through the process, unless they're willing to take something right out of the box.
Vanessa?
For the most part, we service small to medium contractors, so they like the face-to-face. They like to come in at the counter, like to chit-chat. So they're not really on EDI. They probably don't even know what it means. But we do have some industrial customers that have asked us to go that direction. But as Les had said, the costs were outweighing the benefits, so it didn't make sense for us to address that.
Okay, other questions? Plenty of time. Who still has a question? Go on ahead.
Especially to Les, you got Amazon Supply that everybody's talking about. Has upper management challenged you to figure out a way to compete with Amazon Supply from an IT standpoint?
We work as a team. We're looking at it, and we go out and take a look at how they're pricing, what they're doing, with what manufacturers are being represented on a regular basis. But this, we don't see that as an IT only. This is something where operations and sales gets involved. So our executive VP of sales and our executive VP of operations work with me and the president to make sure that we have a strategy. It's something that again, Dave mentioned earlier, there's no way that we can compete from an IT perspective with Amazon. We have to find that good enough and then provide a suite of services that only we can do, that Amazon can't provide. And that's kind of the strategy. So I would say that we're looking for the good enough, and IT can certainly provide that, whatever that model is, given the right budget. But I think the big thing is how do we differentiate ourselves from Amazon Supply and make sure that the services that we currently offer are marketed and services that we need to offer are defined.
So show of hands, real quickly, and then we'll ask some more questions. Show of hands, who's not necessarily using Amazon Supply, but who's keeping an eye on what Amazon Supply is doing kind of over there? Pretty good number of you are? Okay. Who has other questions?
So that's more of a comment to the question.
It's okay.
Dave from Crowley Supply. We, this next 12 months is going to be a pretty heavy investment in the technology. We are, within 3 months we're getting on to online commerce.
pretty excited. Same system I think that North Coast is on. Very exciting. Why are we doing that? Are the customers demanding that kind of thing? No, not yet. And so we know that, once we get up on it, we're probably not going to see that immediate payback or anything along those lines. But we're doing it to keep up with the market. The majority of the competition is, higher and higher percentage today are getting on. And like you said, in the next 3 or 4 years, you'll be left behind if you don't do that. So, that's pretty exciting. And then we're also upgrading our CRM package, and that, I kind of look at it as both ways. Online commerce is great, but rich information for the customers, and then the CRM is going to be great web type of information for our employees, and that's going to help us better track, really what they're doing today, because we don't have a good CRM that really you can drive accountability and that kind of thing. So I look forward to getting on that. But some of the side effects, really one of the side effects is, as we're out interviewing people and that kind of thing, I go to some ID programs, job fairs and that kind of thing, and they're interviewing college students, and they ask, one of their questions is, do all your outside salespeople have tablets? I think without a reason to get them tablets, they're just going to use it, here and there for even more personal usage than anything else. But now we have a reason. I think as we're getting on this new CRM, I think we'll, almost get more buy-in out of our salespeople by getting them all tablets and saying this is how you use them. And I don't know. So it's exciting, and I don't know. Like I said, more of a comment.
Sure. So what kind of percentages are you guys seeing in terms of, from what David said, what kind of percentages are you seeing in terms of customers who are more interested in doing online type shopping? I mean, are you seeing percentage increases?
We are. I don't know that I have any hard numbers on it. A lot of it's kind of anecdotal, but I can tell you, we turned on the newest version of our e-commerce, of our web platform. It's been 6-9 months ago now. Mm-hmm. And, as we converted all the logins from our old system into the new system and managed that process, it's north of 1,000 customers that have used the system, not just been issued a login. Now, of those 1,000, 997 of them have never bought online. But that becomes calls that we're not having to, have an inside salesperson do research for them, or somebody in accounts receivable go up, look up an invoice, or someone in credit management process. It's something that it's empowered the customer to do that to get that information directly, and so they don't have to do it from 8 to 5, or in our case 6 to 6, but they can get to it at night, get to it in weekends. They can drive their business on their schedule, and we knew going in that this was not something that there was this vast untapped demand to buy online, but even that we're seeing an increase in online sales, pure online sales. So.
And so, do you have a projection for next year where you think you're going to be in terms of number of customers or anything like that?
Just more. I mean, we continue to push out. We've got a fairly aggressive and fairly broad roadmap of where we expect our web solution to be, and as more and more functionality comes into that. But it's really, we're in kind of a if we build it, we hope they'll come model. We know what customers have asked for in terms of a feature function set, so as we push that out and as we communicate that to those customers, we're seeing more and more adoption.
Okay. So in no order of importance, because we've got to wrap it up, first of all, make sure that you fill out the yellow sheets that are being passed out right now, and certainly hand those in. That's really important as you're walking out the door. Second thing is there's another, these guys are going to be back at 1:30. If there's somebody that you bump into during your day, they're like, hey, you really should go to the technology panel. We're back in this room again at 1:30. We'd love to have as many people here as possible. Third thing, this is kind of important, and these guys have already agreed to it. Memorize these faces. If you have questions throughout the day today and you happen to run into one of these people and you want to ask them a question, they've agreed that they will answer your questions for you. So remember them. And fourthly, most importantly, thanks you guys. I know we've taken a lot of time, not only out of your days, but we've had phone calls to try and set these things up. So thanks to you guys. I hope everybody has a great meeting, a great 2.5 days from here, and we appreciate your feedback. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks. Thanks, you guys.